tulikuwa tu tunakaa nyumbani tukisaidiana na mama kudondoa boga. Kunde, na imagine tunamfungua mwaka na kunde. Babangu ni kulewa tu. Akakuja huko. Mumenisumbua huku sana. Wewe na mamako, I'm like, Dad, what happened? Mimi sijai kukosea. Mumenichosa sana wewe na mamako. Wewe si mtoto wangu. Uende tu na mamako. So tukidhani pengine ana joke ni kulewa tu. Ameshika panga. Karibu akate mamangu. Tulikuwa tunakutana Sudan for the final. Now to have the winner of all the communities, mwenye atasimamia all the regions.
Yes.
So I was third runners up. Sikupita vile. But I was given 30K as a reward. And the one who hosted us, I told him, you know, this money, I'm so very proud that I've won third runners up. But hii pesa itanisaidia. One thing that I can request from you, if you can support me to go to college, I will appreciate. So that's how I got the sponsorship to college. Nimefanya international relations. I did a certificate and a diploma.
Good. Yeah. What are some of the things zenye wanasema, zenye you are like, I wish you guys would just stop?
Wengine walisema, you mean without him he was nothing? Me replied, yeah, he was nothing. Wengine walikuwa nasema, do you mean wazazi wako wote wakuwa na nguvu ya kujijengea nyumba? Wengine wakasema, you need to concentrate in your life and leave your parents alone.
What made you know she was the one?
I would say it's her heart, it's her honesty and how genuine she is. I knew Helen was the one from the very beginning because she just seemed real. I'm actually grateful to God that all those relationships didn't work out. I thank God every day. I'm so grateful because if that had not been my journey, I would never have met the true love of my life, the true forever love of my life, Helen. Yes. So I'm just grateful. So if I could pass on any words to any young men, it's just be patient. If you're patient, you will find the right lady.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, you've heard me say before, true love is a gift na kila mtu ako na mtu wake. My conversation today revolves around this woman, this young lady I saw on TikTok. And when I saw what she has been able to do for her parents, honoring her hustle and saying, you know, I have worked as a house help, I have worked as a security guard, I have been able to elevate my family, and now she even found love in a man she refers to as the love of her life. We will be meeting him here on the show. These two make an amazing look, guys. I'm vouching for them and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. But before I let her introduce herself, I want to say thank you so much to you guys. You have been incredible. Looking at our channel, we are 600K plus subscribers, and I cannot say thank you enough. Thank you for loving our work, supporting our work, and being active participants of our content. I do not take you for granted. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let our gorgeous guest introduce herself. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Even before you start,
you
are smiling.
Oh my God.
No. You, like, have you ever sat across a Barbie doll and you are like, you are so beautiful?
Thank you.
And I love that beauty for you is not just outward, but also for the things you've done for the people in your life. So even before I let you introduce yourself, take your flowers. You are beautiful. Now please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much for having me today.
Yes.
My name is Helen Ajulu. Yeah, and I come from Busia County, Teso South Sub-County, Katelinyang Village.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Teso.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a Teso?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I think this is the first time I have a Teso on the show.
Oh my God, then I'm lucky.
Thank you for honoring us.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
You're good? Yeah, I see you came with your man here.
Yeah.
I want to go through your story because as I said, I don't believe there's a testimony without a test.
Yeah.
I saw your background. Yeah. I saw where you've come from. I saw how you've been able to elevate your family. Yeah. And it did something to me. And I was like, if people could honestly look back and be able to uplift the people who sacrificed so much for them, it would be beautiful. I want to really keep quiet so you can take us through your journey, how life was growing up for you to how you got to where you are right now.
It hasn't been an easy journey, but it took like patience, perseverance, and having faith. That's where we are today. Yeah. I'm just a girl from a humble background. I school at a day school, primary school, then day secondary school, and I used to walk from home to high school because I performed well, but the parents were not able to take me to a greater school. Yeah, that's why I attended a district school. But a lot happened because the school fees came, like my school fees was paid through working on people's farm. We call it makatala. Tulikuwa tunalimia watu ndio tupate fees ya kunisomesha. And there are times I wanted to give up, you know, because of the hard situations at home. Sababu tulikuwa tunapata like a lot of criticism, like hao ni masikini, watauza kila kitu ndo wasomeshe watoto, because we are 7. Kwetu pia wazazi wamezaa. Lakini ilifika mahali watu walisema hawatafika mahali, hawatasoma because tuko wengi.
Watu are around.
Yeah, in the village. Yeah. And one thing that inspired me like to go, to never give up, it's my mother's story, because kukaa na baba haijakuwa rahisi. Babangu ni mtu violent sana and anapenda kulewa. Hata singemaliza shule, nilikuwa nikuvumilia tu. Sababu whenever dad comes, kama amelewa anakuja anagonga mama, ananiweka ndani. Whenever they have quarrels ananiingiza ndani. You can imagine that trauma and stress. But nilivumilia as a kid because nilijua nikimess watoto wetu watamess.
Wewe uko wangapi kwa watoto wa 7?
I'm the first born.
Oh my goodness.
I'm the first born. So story ilianza when I was in class 5. Mamangu, watoto walikuja shuleni, dada zangu walikuja shuleni wakaniambia, Helen, mama amekufa. I'm like, what happened? Because sababu kitu nyili happen ni sikuwa najua, because I'm sorry to air this out because haifai, but the moment I speak it is when like I feel I'm healed, I'm relieved. Babangu alikuwa anafanya nje na si mtu wa mbali, mtu wa karibu na ni bibi ya mtu. So I remember my mom was 8 months pregnant at that time. Na alivamiwa na huyu tunasema side chick wa baba. So akamuumiza, akamuuma pua, akapiga mimba. Can you imagine? She was 8 months pregnant. Alienda mtoni kuchota maji, but sasa hakuwa najua there's someone following her the back. Na akamvamia. My mom lost conscience na akapelekwa hosi. Ndio sasa watoto wetu walishtuka ni kama amekufa because alikuwa ameloa damu kila mahali. Then from there I was like, what will I happen? I'm just a kid. I didn't know what to do or to react on about that because I was just a kid. Sasa hapo ndo shida zilianza. Mamangu alikaa hosi for like 3 months. Ndio hata akamaliza kuzaa mtoto wetu. She's now in grade 7, very beautiful and very clever. Whenever I look at her, naanzanga tu kulia because ajuange kitu yoyote, ni mimi ndo najua. Yeah. So I step into the shoes of being a mother at that time and a father too. Yeah. Na ijakuwa rahisi. So ilifika mahali nilianza kufulia watu manguo huko nyumbani ndio tupate chakula. Yeah. Ndio tupate chakula, kulisha watoi. Yeah. And another thing that I want to thank is my grandmother, mwenye amezaa mama, mwenye amezaa baba I mean. Juu amesimama na sisi at that time before mama toke hosi. Amekuwa kama mama yetu kila kitu. I'm sorry that she passed like a week ago.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but I pray that wherever she is, she's happy for me. Yeah. So from hapo, I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Mamangu alirudi, then baba aliendelea tu kuwa na like ugomvi. So mama akadecide kuliko tena patikane na shida nyingine, aliamua kutuacha. So alituacha na mtoi huyo tu mwenye.
Huyo mwenye alikuwa.
She was I think 8 months and I had to act like a mother, kulisha watoi, kushughulikia mtoi. Yeah. And mamangu alienda kama niko class 5 and she returned when I was joining class 8. And you can imagine the life in between. It was really hell on earth, but I managed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How are you balancing? Because it must be hard.
It was really hard because I was bullied in primary school. Like watoto walikuwa nasema mama yake aliumwa pua, babake nikalewa. So even in primary school sikuanga na school uniform. Nilikuwa naendanga na CV shule. Juu baba hakuwa na concentrate na sisi, hakuwa anatujali. You know, I had to go to school in civilian. Sikuwa na uniform. Mama kivenya alirudi nikiingia class 8 and nilibuy full school uniform. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I'm lucky. It's like there is leadership in me. When I was in class 7, nilichaguliwa na walimu kwa head girl.
Oh,
but trust you me, I was very shy. Sikuwa isema speech yote parade.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I felt like zile mambo zimenifanyikia, I didn't deserve that post.
You felt like you are not deserving.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just nothing. Yeah. Then from class 8, siku perform vizuri sana. But nilijaribu. Despite the challenges, everything, nilijaribu sana. Then I joined high school. When I joined Form 1, ndo babangu ni kama alifunguka akili kidogo. Kanisaidia nikajoin admission Form 1. Form 2 vituko tena zikaanza. My mama akasema she wants to go back to her parents' home. Then I told mom, kwa niaba yangu just vumilia nimalize shule. Juu ukienda mimi sitamaliza shule.
Yeah.
Mama alivumilia. But I'm sorry, kuvumilia mamangu nimemfanya saizi like one part of the rib, like one side of her
Body.
Yeah, it's not functioning well. Like hawezi fanya kazi mingi sababu ito kazi ya baba kutembea na wanawake huko nje. Siku moja mama alisikia na baba kufurahia, so aligonga mama huko, ni kama kuna shida huko. Yeah. Because mama alifanya some scanning akapatana akona shida like mbavu ni kama ilivunjika. Ama ilifanya nini? Yeah. But I'm praying like saizi anapata matibabu. Okay. Inamsaidia.
She will get better.
Yeah, then from Form 2, actually it was really hard. Nilikuanga naenda shule na 32 book exercise. Yeah, 32 page exercise book, yeah. So there's this time nilikuwa naandika assignment ya biology. Teacher akaniambia see me. And questions zote nimepata, so I was wondering amenita kwa nini. So kwenda kumwona alinigombanisha, why are you using a 32 book page kuandika notes zako na uko high school, unaona? So I started crying, then he really felt for me, akaniambia okay, I'm sorry that nimefanya uniambie ni nini ili happen imekufanya utumie hii kitabu na hii kitabu ni watoto wa nursery na wewe uko high school. Nikamwambia na teacher kila kitu, nikamwambia ni mama ndo anatushughulikia kila kitu, mafuta, vitabu, kama kuna itabidi tu tumevumilia. Juu baba saidi. Then the teacher felt for me, akaenda kwa ofisi akaniandikia vitabu, akanibaya set books, because kila time wengine wakiwa class mimi niko nje nimepewa punishment sababu sina set books. Teacher alinipea like aliniandikia hizo books, akanibaya set books. Uniform ilikuwa ni shida, ilikuwa imararuka kila mahali. Socks huko ni matouch tu, viatu zimebend hivi. You can imagine I was footing from home to school. So he did everything for me. Nikakuwa sasa like a brand new student. Yeah. So penye babangu alisikia ni kama nimesaidiwa na mwalimu kila kitu, akasema huyu amaribiwa na mwalimu, simsomeshi tena. Trust me, babangu akunilipia school fees from Form 3 hadi Form 4. Ni mamangu alinisaidia. Akaingiza watu wako akambiana, mnisaidie penye mtaweza mtoto amaliza shule sababu anataka kusoma. Wakasaidiana na wazazi wake nikamaliza shule. And my dream was to be like, I wanted to be a journalist. And because I didn't perform very well, nikafanya vitu zingine but inanisaidia. I hope itanisaidia even in the near future.
No experience is ever a waste. No experience is a waste.
Yeah. Then after high school, I got a D+. And I was a head girl. Whole head girl got a D+. Even the teachers were shocked. The students were shocked. Walisema, Helen, what happened? Because nikianguka nilikuwa napata kitu C- C+. But I didn't know what happened because siko najua kabisa. Then from hapo nikasema siwezi endelea kukaa nyumbani. I finished Form 4 in 2014. Nikasema nikiendelea kukaa nyumbani, the only thing inaweza kuja kwa akili ni kuolewa. Na sitaki kuolewa nipatane na shida venye mamangu amepatana nazo. Nikatoroka nyumbani nikakuja Nairobi kama house girl. Nilikuwa nalipa 3K a month and there was a lot of work na nilikuwa nafanya yote. Nilikuwa nalipwa 3K. So there is a time niliambia na boss wangu nimepata job ingine at least ina pay kuliko yeye. Nilifukuzwa. And it was 7 PM. Siko najua Nairobi vizuri. Nilikuwa nalia kwa hizi streets za Nairobi. Hata siko najua ni nani naweza mpigia. But fortunately cousin yangu alinipigia kasimu akasema, "Helen uko wapi?" Nikasema, "Thank God umenipigia simu, siko hit kuwa na namba yako." Niko kabisa pale pabaya siwezi hata kujisaidia. Akanisaidia nikaenda kukaa na yeye kwa hiyo harakati. Yeah. Nikafanya house girl. Haijakuwa rahisi but I thank God mwenye nilipata the second employer.
Nice.
Yeah, was very nice and she took me like her sister. Yeah. Tukafanya vizuri like the whole of 2015. 2015 December nikasema wacha niende nyumbani nisherehekee na wazazi na familia December. Vituko. Juu kwetu mwaka iwezi anza ama tuwezi funga mwaka kama kuna ugomvi. You can imagine that home in the village, unasikia watu, huko lazima watu wapigane. Huko ndio kulikuwa kwetu. I was really feeling bad. But nashukuru Mungu. Yeah. So from there, hiyo December, nilienda nyumbani. January, I believe it was tarehe 1. Tarehe 2. Tulikuwa tunakaa nyumbani tukisaidiana na mama kudondoa boga. Kunde, na imagine tunamfungua mwaka na kunde. Babangu ni kulewa tu. Akakuja huko. Mumenisumbua huku sana. Wewe na mamako, I'm like, "Dad, what happened?" Mimi sijai kukosea. Mumenichosa sana wewe na mamako. Wewe test mtoto wangu. Uone tu na mamako. So tukidhani pengine ana joke ni kulewa tu. Ameshika panga. Karibu akate mamangu. Hapo ndio nikakasirika nikamwambia baba, kama uko na ugomvi na mamangu mimi usiiweka ndani. So from today mimi sitakuita baba unless u rectify na tabia zako. Then babangu akatufukuza. Nikakimbia, nilifuata mam Jumamu hiyo time alienda kwao. Nikafuata mam. Nikakaa, but there's something that was in me. Nikasema, watoto wetu. Because I think I was kind of responsible. Sababu nilianza kuwa responsible at a younger age.
Yeah.
So I was feeling for my younger siblings. Nikasema, acha nirudi nyumbani. Sababu watoto wetu wanateseka. I'm lucky nimemaliza shule, but wao wako shule sitaki wapitie kenye nimepitia. Sababu hakuna mtu atawasaidia ho.
Yeah.
Nikarudi. But sikuwa at peace. Nilimaliza tu 1 week home, nikatoroka tena nikakuja Nairobi kufanya kazi ya house guard. But when nilifanya kazi ya house guard nikasikia kuna recruitment ya security guard.
Yeah.
Nikasema hii kazi siwezi toboa. At that time nilikuwa nalipa 4K. Nikasema hapana siwezi. Hiyo ya security guard nilisikia inalipa 15. Nikasema that's nice. Wacha niende nijaribu. Lakini kwa soja haikuwa kwa akili yangu hata kidogo. Nilienda nikafanya recruitment. Nikakuwa recruited, nikaambiwa ukuje Monday uanze training. Nilishukuru sana. Nilimaliza training like it was a 3-month training. It was really hard. Ni kama ya polisi but nilimanage. Yeah, nikaanza kazi and I was posted to Kajiado. Nilikuwa naenda kufanya na Huduma Center. So nikafanya na Huduma Center that 2016 to 2017. So while being there, sistangu alidrop shule juu hakuwa na school fees. And because mama alikuwa home na nilikuwa nimemfungulia kabiashara kadogo, niliambia mom, tunaweza saidiana kusomesha huyu juu sitaki like a drop akae nyumbani. Yeah. Tukasaidiana, sistangu akamaliza shule. At that time nilikuwa nasomesha yeye, hata mimi najilipia. I joined Masai Technical for secretarial course.
Wow.
But sikumaliza. Nilidrop sababu job ilisha and I had to move to Nairobi. Yeah. Nikarudi Nairobi 2018. We were working with Rada Security Limited at Times Towers. Na kazi ilikuwa mingi. Ukiweka kwa gate ya kusimama kusearch watu, it's from 6 to 6. Break na kwanga tu ni 15 minutes. But I persevered, I tolerated. Because nilikuwa najua there's something good in future. And maybe God is preparing me from this. So that He can take me to the next step, on the next level ndo nisi.
Good.
Yeah. So nikafanya hapo 2018, nikasema now that I'm here and niko karibu na town, what can I do like as a part-time thing? Juu siko nataka kujoin college ni drop tena because I wasn't so sure hii contract inaisha when. Yeah, nika join modeling. Na modeling hata siko njua ku catwalk. I know how to walk on heels but siko najua ku catwalk nini or what it entails to be a model. Nika join Aftermath modeling agency. But nearly drop. sababu nilikuwa nachoka. Unasimama from 6 to 6, then from 6 hapo ukienda unaenda kuvaa heels, kutrain. I was really feeling exhausted. Nikasema Then January something hit me. Nikasema sababu mamangu aligonjeka to a point alikuwa anataka kukufa. Juu alipeleka hospitali zote hakuna ugonjwa, but kitu inamuumiza. Nikasema what can I do? Nikaimagine, so kuna hosti nilimpeleka Bungoma, wakasema ni zile maumivu zinaanza kumkula pole pole. Nikasema what can I do? Now that I've joined modeling, do sasa ikanipeleka nikarudi kuwa modeling. So when I went back to the modeling agency, sababu sasa before sikuwa najua reason as to why I wanted to be a model. But now I had a clear reason that nataka kuwa model. So my main reason ya kuwa model is to be like, to empower the girls and the women in society who are really fighting hard for their rights to be heard. Like fighting against gender violence and advocating for education. Sababu kwetu, like it's in the village, watu hawajeka masomo like mbele. So nika join modeling and I heard there is Miss Teso contest. And the Miss Teso winner, whoever wins, will be the advocate for education, peace, and development across the Ateker region. So when I say Ateker region, is the communities that share the same culture, origin, food. And we consist of the Turkana, the Karamoja in Uganda, the Iteso, and some part of the community in South Sudan.
Okay.
So when I went to this contest, I didn't know nienda kuwin. Nilienda tu nikafanya vitu zangu, though I was so passionate because I wanted them to know who Helen is, through my modeling career. When I was announced the winner, sikuwa najua hata kama ni mimi. And the only people I were there for me, it's my mother, my siblings, walikuwa wamekuja kunicheer out. And the rest walikuwa wamekuja na crowd.
Na watu wao.
So ilikuwa ni mshtuko sana till nimewin Miss Teso. And when I won Miss Teso, a lot of opportunities came.
Congratulations.
But sikufanikiwa ku meet all of them. Because nilikuwa nataka hata kwenda like college na sikufanikiwa. So the county promised like to sponsor me a lot of things, but it didn't happen. I also got an invitation from Germany to go and represent my community, which I didn't go because of the logistics, blah blah blah. So nikasema kama sijaenda Germany saizi, I know there's time nitafika mahali nitatembea nchi zote mingi sana. But I still had hope because of the finals. So whoever wins the Karamoja, Miss Karamoja, Miss Teso, Turkana, tulikuwa tunakutana Sudan for the final. Now to have the winner of all the communities, mwenye atasimamia all the regions. So I was third runners up. Sikupita vile. But I was given 30K as a reward. And the one who hosted us, I told him, this money, I'm so very proud that I've won third runners up. But hii pesa itanisaidia. One thing that I can request from you, if you can support me to go to college, I will appreciate. So that's how I got the sponsorship to college. Nimefanya international relations. I did a certificate and a diploma.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh
my God. I
for me, it's the ability to say no to money and challenge someone to, hey, I know this is money right now because you needed the money.
Kwanza when I won Miss Teso, there's some people who reach out to me like wanataka kunisponsor visa, flight, but wengi walikuwa wanataka like I meet with them in private so that they can fulfill that. But to me, because I know who I am, I know what I wanted, I say no, I can't use myself just because I want to go to Germany or because I want to go to college. Unless your support is genuine or honest, is what I can maybe accept. Yeah.
That's amazing. So in school, you now have a diploma?
Yeah, I have a
diploma. In international relations?
Yeah.
Twende kaa tumeenda.
I even graduated like last year in
Congratulations.
December. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Oh my God. I'm just blessed. I call myself like a blessed girl.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
And like nyumbani nilipost TikTok that how we were before. unaona familia yenye mzazi, unaona kichwa ya nyumba ni baba. But sasa kwetu baba alikuwa negligent, alikuwa ignorant, na uwezi mu-advise. Tulikuwa tunaishi kwa hiyo nyumba, side moja imebomoka na bado mnaishi ndani. Na kwetu iko karibu na barabara. You can imagine, unakaa unaangalia tu scenario. Na wewe ni msichana, unaelewa?
Yes.
Kuna time nilikasirika tu sababu kulinyesha everywhere. So nilikuwa naamsha watu hiyo, akasema wacha tu basi mvua itunyeshe tu kuliko kuamuka. Then I really felt for the kids. Sijui kama babangu alikuwa na feel hivyo. So because I don't know. Yeah. Then when I joined security, the semi-permanent house that I posted, hiyo ya matope na mabati, hiyo ingine, nilijenga kama niko nafanya kazi ya security. At least, I was doing that sincerely for my mother and the siblings. Ingekuwa ni babangu pekee mimi singejenga. But because as a way of thanking my mother and also to uplift my siblings, to motivate them, to inspire them is what I did that. Yeah.
Wow. How is the relationship like right now between
Right
you and your
now,
mother?
Between me and my mother, we are like sisters. Because tunaelewa kila kitu. Naambianga mama usijali. And right now she's very proud of me. Even my dad.
How is
Because
dad?
Dad is doing well. Ilifika mahali nilisema Mungu, just give me a heart yenye haifai, like yenye ya kuweka grudge.
Yes.
Anipe heart ya upendo,
Kuforgive.
ya kuforgive, ya kusamea. So it reached a point, I believe it was 2021.
Yes.
I reconciled with my dad. And I said,
How was that? Walk me through the conversation, because here is the thing, especially in the generation that is raising kids, or the generation that raised kids years back, our parents don't know how to apologize.
yeah.
You will not hear, I am sorry from your father. You will not hear, I did you wrong, please forgive me.
Yeah.
You don't get to hear that from a lot of African parents.
Yeah.
So how was that reconciliation? Did you tell him, hey, you dad, you've wronged me big time? And did he say, oh, my daughter Helen, I am so sorry? What did he say?
Okay, the reconciliation came where, like, I had to chip in to pay for my siblings' school fees. My dad requested me to do that. And yes, I was in a position, but it wasn't that, like, I was financially stable. So I told Dad, niza support penye naweza. Then when I went home, nikapatana na baba. Kwanza nilipelekea suti. Suti ya kwanza nilibaya nilikuwa nafanya kama soja. Hakuiva. Hadi hiyo 2021. Ndio alivaa.
His first suit.
Yeah, hakuiva. Kamena dada kaniambia, nimeangalia penye tumetoka, haijakuwa rahisi. And I really messed up.
He said that?
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
I wish ninge concentrate na wewe, ningekusaidia, ningekuwa focused na wewe, saizi tungekuwa mbali. Kaambia na dad usijali. Mimi naelewa sababu zile mashida nimepitia, nilikuja kujua, kurealize like, it's because he had nothing. And you know, poverty contributes a lot of things. Nilichangia vitu mingi sana, nikaelewa babangu sababu hakuwa na kitu, na tena group alikuwa nayo, juu aliambiwa usisomeshe wasichana, hawata kusaidia. Because I'm the first granddaughter in our home to finish high school, to do everything that I've done. Wengine hawajamaliza class 8 au wenye walitangulia ni kuolewa tu. And one thing that my dad is grateful, sijazaa nyumbani. Juu kwa boma yetu wote watu wamezaa nyumbani. Yeah. So tukaongea hiyo na baba, akasema enyewe nilikosa, na kama ungekuwa mwingine ungekumbuka hata sisi venye ulienda Nairobi, ungeirudi hata nyumbani. But because umekuwa na sisi tangu uende, na bado uko na sisi unatuendelea kutusupport. Na kusamea na unaomba msamaha kutoka kwa yale yote nilifanya. Sababu kitu nilikuwa na grudge na baba, ni venye huyo bibi alipiga mama sababu alimuuma pua. Mamangu ana pua huku. Hiyo kabisa nilinifanya nika hate babangu, but nilikuja kuelewa vitu zingine mingi ni umaskini na inachangia. Nikaelewa, nikamwambia mimi sina shida na wewe, because after all you will remain to be my dad. You will remain to be my parents. However the situation and everything. Sitaenda kwa wengine waseme ni kwa kina Helen, wanajua huko ndo kwetu. so itabidi mimi nikusaidie tu, tusaidiane. Ndio babangu akafunguka akili akasema acha nilime mahindi, nilime maharagwe, nikusaidie kusomesha watoto.
Good.
So tukaanza kuchangiana kufikisha penye tumefika. Sasa hizi tuko na watoto 2 tu wako shule. Yeah. Wengine umemaliza.
Congratulations. Wamemaliza form 4?
Yeah, wamemaliza form 4. Sasa hizi tuko na grade 7, form 1 na grade 5 pekee. Wako 3. Sisi 1 tumemaliza.
Mmemaliza.
Yeah.
How do you feel about yourself?
Okay, I feel very proud because I promised myself that I want to be a role model. Someone that other girls and women can look up to in the society.
Yes.
And nataka kusaidia watu wengine baadaye. And siwezi saidia watu wengine baadaye in the future. Kama sijasaidia mimi, sijasaidia familia yangu. Because they say charity begins at home.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why nilisema hata before niolewe, nataka kumake sure wazazi wangu are very happy. Na wako proud of me.
Yes.
In order to get their blessings and everything.
Yes. Before I invite your fiance here, Daniel, walk me through those houses, because we're in the era of social media, right? Not many people want to show where they came from. You know, there's a very fake narrative on social media, and people want to show like, hey, I come from a good place. I'm not saying yours is not a good place, but not a lot of people are showing the real places they've come from. What inspired you to show people this is it?
Okay, when I decided to post that video, I wanted people to learn from my story. I want them to believe that there is hope. There's still another chance. And the thing that they need to do is not to give up. To trust the process and always believe that God's time will always be the best.
Yes.
And that's why I decided to post that video. Ijakuwa rahisi. Kwanza nilikuwa nasema ni post, nisipost. Watu watanichukuliaje? But one thing that I'm proud of myself is I'm not shy. Like I will not shy away from sharing my story. Because that's how others will learn.
And will be inspired.
Yeah.
Yes. Talk to me about Daniel.
So, oh my God. Mapenzi pia imenipeleka hivi. It reached a point I was like, I don't want to date. You know, I was really giving up on dating. But I thank God I met Daniel. Though it wasn't easy, but Daniel made everything like seem to be easier. Yeah.
He will tell us that part on how he made everything easy. But I've seen you've acknowledged that he did help you putting up the latest structure for your family. How does that make you feel?
Okay, when
na uogopi wale watu wa kusema huyu sasa ameendea tu mzungu because of money.
Kwanza there are a lot of negative comments like the power of kutumia nini. And you know, mi sijashtuka sababu najua I was once bullied. Saizi siwezi shtuka. It's my time.
Say that one more time. You were once bullied?
Yeah.
Sai?
Because when I won Miss Teso, a lot of people said like I'm not beautiful. I didn't deserve that crown. Nililia, nikalia. Because sijai kutana na hizo criticism. But from hapo ndo nikalan, I want to be Helen. Okay. I don't want to allow people to make use of the situation that I am in to discriminate me. Yeah. Nikasema siwezi sikia Kenya wanasema. Whatever they will say, me so long as I know what I'm doing, Mr. Jali.
Na usiwai.
Yeah, siwezi.
Na usiwai. Yeah. What are some of the things zenye wanasema, zenye you are like, I wish you guys would just stop?
Wengine walisema, you mean without him he was nothing? Me replied, yeah, he was nothing. Wengine walikuwa nasema, do you mean wazazi wako wote wakuwa na nguvu ya kujijengea nyumba? Wakasema wengine wakasema, you need to concentrate in your life and leave your parents alone. Me nilireply, it's my parent. Na it's my parents because nikienda bado nitakuwa na like sijafanya hivi kwa wazazi wangu, sijafanya hivi. And when I met Dan, I told him this is what I wanted to do for my parents before I get married. So akaniambia vitu zingine naweza kusaidia. Like kama nilimwambia nataka kufanya degree ndo niolewe. Kaniambia degree unaweza fanya hata kwetu because there are a lot of opportunities over there. Na nitakusaidia.
Where is his home?
he's from Australia.
Australia.
Yeah. Na nikamwambia nilikuwa na dream ya kujengea wazazi wangu because I know the life that they have been, and sitaki waendelee kusema like nimeenda kuolewa, sijawafanyia hivi na hivi. Na nilikuwa nataka nikimove in na nianze maisha yangu, kuna vitu mingi zinanifuata.
Yes.
At least nimepunguza burden nyingine. Yeah. I know it's not my responsibility to do that, but it's because I just have a heart of giving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And don't ever give. You see, if you are a giver, you remain to be a giver. Don't ever let anyone tell you how you should give.
Yeah.
Because maybe the blessings that are coming your way, it's because you gave somewhere.
Yeah.
So every time people come to you and say you shouldn't give, it's not your responsibility to build your parents a house, whose responsibility is it? Of course, I understand black tax, I understand, you know, especially what firstborns go through.
Yeah.
But if you feel it in your heart to give, don't let anyone stop you. Who are they to stop you in the first place? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you continue to give.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to invite Dan. I've heard you calling him Dan. It's good tumefika hiyo level ya kufupisha jina sasa.
Yeah.
I wanna invite him, but before I do, when you look back and you see all the things you've gone through, and maybe someone is watching you, and they are at a place where you were years back, what would you want to tell them?
All I can say is usiwaisikiza kenye watu wanasema.
Yes.
Just be you, do you, and always trust God. And in God's time, everything itaflow tu. Hata utaamini.
Yeah.
Because ilifika mahali nilikuwa nasema, mimi nachezwa ama niaje? Then nikakumbuka, it's because maybe God has decided to do this to me.
Yes.
Kulipisha zile mapito nimepitia.
Good. Good. Yeah.
And usiai give up. Because uki give up, hakuna mtu atakusaidia. Ni wewe mwenyewe kujiamini na kujisaidia pia.
Yeah.
And in this life, you will need, like a lot of people need someone to hold their hands, to help them achieve their dreams or to reach where they want to reach.
Yeah.
And that is me.
Yes.
Because all along, kumbe I wanted someone, like I was longing for someone just to hold me. Na sikuwa najua. Juu nimejaribu house girls, sijafanikiwa, nimejaribu modeling, security. Then nikapatana na yeye. Do amenisaidia, do kila kitu ika happen, venye ime happen. Yeah.
But alikupata kwa hiyo spirit.
Yeah.
He found you in the spirit.
Yeah.
He found you with a purpose. He's just a destiny connector, you know, someone who holds. And there is nothing wrong with someone
Juu hata
holding
nyumba
your
nilikuwa
hand.
nataka kujengea wazazi wangu, but inge take like years, unaona, tuseme like 4 or 5 years. Juu nilikuwa nataka nimalize degree ndio nipate job poa, nijenge wazazi nyumba. But he came along and I said, it's okay, yeah.
Yes.
I say just thank God.
Yeah, before he comes, I know obviously you will find a way of making sure mom watches this episode.
Yeah.
So looking at that camera, what would you want to tell mom? Ungetaka kumwambia nini?
Oh my God. I just thank you, Mom, for standing with me since day one. And one thing that I can say and promise is I will never let you down. I'll keep on making you proud and happy. And
God, you have such a beautiful smile. It's okay. It's okay. Go on. Finish.
Mom, you're such a darling. Sijai kusahau na sitawahi kukusahau. And I hope nimekufanya ukue happy. Na sijai kuangusha na sijakuangusha. Yeah.
Good.
Na msaada yangu haitakoma hapo. Itaendelea kila siku ama kila wakati.
Yeah.
But I think naweza move on sasa.
You feel free.
Yeah. I'm feeling like I'm released.
You are released.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What would you like to tell yourself?
I'm a fighter.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I will always remain to be a humble, ambitious, focused young lady.
Good.
And God-fearing. Sababu hizi vitu zote zingefanyika kama si Mungu kutu prepare. Ama kuni prepare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go out there and conquer.
Yeah.
unapologetically.
Yeah.
Go out there and shine.
How are you?
Like I am telling you, and you can quote me, this interview 5 years to come, you will quote me.
Thank you.
You are destined for so much more. You are destined for greatness.
Thank you.
So keep pushing, keep being ambitious. Don't let anyone water down your vision.
Yeah.
If you have imagined you're going to be the president of this country, go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Unapologetically. When you look ahead, how does the future look like for you?
There is hope in the future,
Good.
and the future is promising.
Yes.
And I can see like I'm just gonna live a life that God has prepared
Yes.
for me,
Yes.
and it will not be like a life that is full of struggle and a lot of hardship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you feel like you've had so many struggles in your life?
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you to say something to Dan, but why say it looking at this camera when he's right here? So Daniel, karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Yes, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. thank
You're
you.
good?
Yeah.
Yes, so
yeah.
I was just, maybe if you can introduce yourself so that we can get straight to the story.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, my name's Daniel Bloxage. I'm from Australia, and I'm actually from a part of Australia called the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Originally from a town called Ipswich, which is close by the Gold Coast.
Yes.
But my entire life was turned around in the most fabulous, magical way when I met this incredible young lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a year ago. So, Helen's made all my dreams come true,
Yes.
and it's just the start.
Wow.
We're really on a journey together forever. And we've both found what we've been looking for all of our lives in each other.
In each other. You were right there when she was taking us through her story. What would you want to tell her? I saw you cheering her on there. Yeah, he was busy like, yes. What would you want to tell her?
I'm just so proud of you, Helen. I'm just so proud of you, my dear.
Thank you.
And, I just have such a feeling of pride and also gratitude in, I'm honoured and humbled to be her forever man and her husband.
Yes.
And I'm just proud of her.
Yeah.
The fact that she is a fighter, she is a warrior in the most beautiful, loving way.
Yeah.
And she's overcome so much adversity in her life. And I just see that beautiful spirit come out in her. I always tell her she's the most beautiful woman in the
Yes,
world,
she
not
is.
just on the outside, but most importantly,
Yes,
on the inside.
On the inside.
And that's one thing I always searched for, was a soulful woman, someone who's, got a big heart and is all about heart and soul and has, the best intentions for people from her inside.
Yes.
And she has that and more.
And more. Oh.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, darling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll
Helen.
never tire of telling you that.
Oh. Helen, what would you want to tell him?
Oh my God. I just want to say that you are the best. And you are my precious gift from above. The one that I longed for, I prayed. You make me feel like I'm the queen.
Oh.
Yeah.
You are the queen.
Yeah, you are the queen.
You are the queen.
And the happiness, like the smile that you see me wearing each day, is because you bring it out of me and you make me be who I am. Yeah. And I just thank you, because in you I found not only a man, but a gentleman, a best friend,
Wow.
a daddy figure, a brother figure, and everything that I wanted from a man. Yeah.
Oh.
And thank you for trusting me, loving me for who I am, despite my flaws, my everything. You chose to be with me.
Well, I don't see any flaws, and I don't notice any flaws.
Me too. I'm looking for them.
And yeah, Helen, you are everything that I looked for, and I just believe that everything happens for a reason, and I'm just so glad that we both followed God's time and the journey that we've taken to be able to meet each other and to plan the greatest, forever life journey together forever.
It's beautiful. I really want, you guys will have the best. We'll have the best family. I love that, you feel when something is really beautiful. I can feel it and I want a lot of it for you. But her video on TikTok, seeing where she's come from to where she is right now, and acknowledging that you did help and you did support her during the latest structure that she's putting up for her parents. Why was that important for you to hold her hand, and what conversation was around that particular topic?
Right. So why it was important for me is because I believe that a man should look after his lady, and what we do together, we do everything together.
Yes.
We're a true partnership, and we always have been since day one. We're not just lovers, wife and husband. We're also best friends. So we do everything together.
Yeah.
And Helen was always so honest and upfront about her life, and we've spoken about each other. Like, I've told her my life journey.
Yes.
She's told me her life journey very early in our relationship. So we knew each other very, very well from the beginning, and it felt like we'd known each other actually the first time we spoke. It felt like we'd known each other for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
It was amazing, the connection and the vibe. Yeah.
Let me put
Everything
you to a test right there.
Right.
Her favorite color?
Yeah, I know her favorite color.
Yeah.
Blue.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
His favorite color?
Blue.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
So it happens.
Favorite food?
Like Kenyan food?
Yeah.
Ugali.
Ugali?
Oh, yeah.
And kachumbari?
Ugali, nyama choma, and kachumbari.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Her favorite food?
She loves palau. That's what she
Man.
said.
Let me think of one more that's gonna be a bit challenging. Her favorite artist, musician?
Oh, okay. She loves all kinds of like particularly Tanzania and
Bongo music.
bongo music.
Yes.
But I'd say her favorite actual artist would be Julia.
Julia Kanyamozi.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
From Uganda.
From
yeah.
she's
That's her.
from Uganda.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful lady right there. His favorite?
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Who is your favorite?
Well, she knows I really love soul music,
Yes.
like R&B soul music. So I love a lot of the classic soul artists
Yes.
like Luther Vandross,
Oh,
Whitney Houston.
there you go, Celine Dion.
Aretha Franklin.
Yes.
Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
All these like legends. Anita Baker.
Hey, you're ours. Have you met the family?
Yes, absolutely.
How was the reception?
That's one of the things that I'm so grateful for. Actually, Helen's family welcomed me with open arms from day one. I'm truly grateful and appreciative of that. Mind you, we did have a lengthy conversation when I first met Helen's mama, papa, and several of her uncles.
Yes.
In particular, there's two gentlemen, Uncle Justice and Uncle Ben, who have been integral in both interpreting, my conversations to Mama and Papa from English to Iteso. I'm trying my best to learn as much as I can, but they've really bridged that gap.
Yeah.
And so we had, many a conversation about, because obviously they wanted to find out about me. They wanted to get to know me. And I believe from the beginning they knew my intentions were genuine. I think they could tell.
Yeah.
Just, that I truly loved their daughter and I truly loved, their niece. And that I was always going to care for her and protect her and protect that precious heart of hers.
Yes.
And always bring, joy, happiness, peace, well-being to Helen. And that's forever.
Yeah.
They knew that I was just looking for that one lady.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was brought up to do. Like my father taught me how to be a gentleman and just search for that one special lady forever, that one wife.
Yes.
And I had to be patient, and even while a lot of my relatives and my cousins and friends were getting married and having children and I wasn't, I wanted to wait and be patient because I knew I would know when I found that special person.
What made you know she was the one?
I would say it's her heart, it's her honesty and how genuine she is. I knew Helen was the one from the very beginning because she just seemed real.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. She's real.
How did you meet? I should have started with
Yeah, you want me to say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's one of those destiny, fate, meant to be stories, to be truthful.
Yeah.
Both Helen and I were looking for the same thing, real love, true love, forever, not just a short-term thing or see how it goes. We were looking for the real thing forever, and to build a family, have children, and just have an amazing life together.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten to the point where I thought, I'll give it one more try to go online dating.
Yes.
And Helen happened to be
There.
thinking this. Yeah, she happened to be there.
Yeah.
And for me, it didn't matter where the person was from. Like I was in Australia, it didn't matter if they were on the other side of the world or right next to where I was living.
Yes.
To me, like we're all a part of a global community.
Yeah.
So whether you're from Australia, Kenya,
Oh,
or
wherever.
anywhere, wherever, it doesn't matter. True love trumps everything.
Good.
And we're all part of,
So who swiped right?
Yeah, well,
Me-
if I had have found Helen first, but Helen found me.
Yes.
Helen found me, and I always thank God. I thank God every day that Helen found me, actually.
Good.
And I thank Helen that she found me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And immediately when I saw the message, I was immediately attracted to Helen because I could see not only was she beautiful on the outside, but you were commenting on her smile before. I know, it's one of a kind,
crazy,
right? It's one of a kind.
Yes.
It's just so genuine and true. Like it's a real smile. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Like I think it's one of the most beautiful smiles I've ever seen. God, you are all beautiful. But what has been your experience with love though before? Because she told me she's had crazy experiences. What has been yours?
Yeah. So I've traveled a fair bit in my life. I actually finished high school in the United States, in US. And I did that on my own accord because I've always enjoyed learning about new cultures and experiencing different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to be in a position to be able to do that. So my mum and dad said, we'll allow you to do like a semester exchange in the US.
Yes.
So over there, it really opened up my eyes to different ways of like thinking and culture. And so, but I never found that special person. And then when I came back to Australia, I started university.
Yes.
And I was always the type where, my mum and I was blessed. I was very fortunate actually, because I grew up with a mum and dad who were always together. They were always loyal to each other. And so I had good role models for a relationship.
Yes.
But I also had role models where I knew I just wanted to wait for a wife.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't interested in what I saw, a lot of other nonsense from other guys, being players
Too
or
much.
dating this person and that person. And that never interested me at all. So I stayed away from all of that, and I just stuck strong to my morals and, my values and character of, searching for that one special person. So I was patient.
Yeah.
And yes, like most people, I'd had a few relationships, no more than that. I can count them on one hand, no more. Over my time.
Yes.
But I was always open and honest. Like once I realized that person wasn't quite ready for a full-time commitment, and I could just tell in my heart and in my soul that this wasn't the one. They weren't ready for a forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always open and honest and always tried to give them an opportunity. But then when it, negative behavior continued and so I wanted to just wait. So I spent, to be honest, many times were lonely throughout my adult life, but at least I had a good career as a full-time teacher.
Yeah.
And I did teach in the US again in North Carolina and taught in London for a year.
Yeah.
And then when I came back from London, which was 2019, I just, I'd had some experiences also with online dating with people not being honest and real, saying they're going to meet you, but they never do, that kind of thing. That almost put me off online dating completely, but I was saying to Mum last night and some of my family who have travelled over from Australia.
You
we
mentioned
appreciate-
something important. Your family is here?
They're here.
Yeah.
It's the first time they've ever been to Kenya.
So
It's
you're all
amazing.
going for the Rurashi. Rurashi is like dowry and
Yes,
stuff.
right. We're going for
Yes.
the rituals of the dowry,
Yes.
and they're there to support the
You
traditional
came with your
ceremony.
crew.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, good job.
Asante.
Good job. Have you met them?
Yeah, we are together with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so beautiful. But sorry, I cut you
No,
short
that's
on
okay.
the dating thing. Mhm.
Well, I just decided. I was saying to Mum last night and everyone there when me and Helen we were saying a few words at dinner, and I said I always did have faith in the back of my mind, even when times were difficult.
Yes.
And I was getting on in life at different stages where most people are raising their children, but I was glad, I was patient. I'm actually grateful to God that all those relationships didn't work out. I thank God every day. I'm so grateful, because if that had not been my journey, I would never have met the true love of my life, the true forever love of my life, Helen.
Yes.
So I'm just grateful. So if I could pass on any words to any young men,
Yes.
it's just be patient. If you're patient, you will find the right lady. And I think the right lady isn't just what we see in the media.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about, like Helen is the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yes.
But it's not just about the physical and all these it's about someone who's real.
Yes.
And also it's, you want to be with someone who you can be friends with too, best friends.
Yes.
And who, if you're going to raise children with, you want to pass on to that next generation, good values, good character. And I think kids learn more from what they see rather than what they hear. So if they see a man and a woman treating each other with respect, always being loyal with each other, always having each other's backs and loving each other and being best friends as well, I think that'll then teach them
Yes.
they can be that in the future rather than seeing all kinds of drama and
trauma.
and trauma.
And so much to deal with.
And that's one of the reasons I'm proud of my ladies, because she's overcome all that.
Good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I was just adding to the trauma. It's too much to deal with. What's wrong?
Because I remember when I met him, I told him like, I'm really sorry because you found me in a healing process, but I'm ready to be like the woman that I always wanted to be. Yeah, so that's how I released myself from the past trauma, the childhood trauma. Yeah.
Okay, good job. Can keep doing the work,
Yeah.
And at least, as you said, you have someone to hold your hand. Talking of someone to hold your hand, a lot of people are embracing interracial dating right now, but then there's always that 1-2 people saying, oh, she's using you to build the house for the parents, all those things. What do you have to say about that? And is she using you?
Honestly, I don't even give it a second thought. I really pay it no attention. Yes, it's there.
Yes.
I said to Helen, when the video really gained a lot of popularity, I said, you know what, if there's, because she mentioned there were a few negative comments,
Yes.
and I was very heartened by the fact that she wasn't worried about it.
Yes.
And I said to Helen, I don't ever want you to worry about what people are commenting on social media. I said, it's not even real. You don't even know these people. They've never met you in person.
Yes.
They have their opinion carries no weight. They don't know us. It's just them projecting their own insecurities
Good.
and their own difficulties and probably their own trauma, which I'm not judging them for, but we don't need to take that on board because it's got nothing to do with us.
Yes.
They're not family, they're not friends. And even if they were, we would have conversations with them to help them understand the true, genuine love that we have.
Yeah.
But as far as, people digging in dirt and just sending out comments on social media, it's not about us, it's about them.
Good.
They're projecting their insecurities and their own difficulties onto us.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm at a stage where I'm mature enough to just ignore it.
Yes.
It really has no bearing on me whatsoever. And I emphasised to Helen, I said, never let that get to you.
Good.
Because your man does not care about it
Yes,
at all.
at all.
I really couldn't care about it
Good.
at all. But what I do care about is I would encourage people who do, get behind a computer screen or
Keyboard
behind
warriors.
keyboard warriors. I suggest to them that maybe they invest their time in some more productive things rather than worrying about strangers' lives because they don't know us. If you're here to support people, we're all for that.
Go.
positive energy.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's
you know?
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that's that part of their journey,
Yeah.
you know, to release that, and hopefully they'll learn through,
There's a part of me that wants to let you go, but then there's a part that doesn't want to let you guys go.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep asking the questions until I feel like I've had enough. So
Sure.
you've been together for a year now.
Yeah.
Correct.
There are people. I just wanna maybe hear your thoughts about timelines, because some people think you have to be together for maybe 6 or 7 years to settle down, or 4 years to settle down. You've just been together for a year. What's your thought process around that, the timeline?
Yeah. Did you want to say
Do you
something,
want
Pat?
to?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've already applied for a marriage visa.
Yes.
It's just it's just some several months left for the
Yes.
visa to come out.
Yes.
And once the visa is out, I'll join him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about the duration? Do you think you should have waited longer, maybe 5 years, 6 years before you say
You know,
yes?
for me, I used to say I'll get married at 30. But when I met him, I didn't even thought up about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just accepted everything. It's because I saw something in him that I didn't see before. Yeah.
And it's
Na
there.
nikasema if I let this chance, like,
Go.
yeah,
Yeah.
sitapata mtu mwingine kama yeye.
To actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
And oh, thanks for those sweet words, babe. I appreciate it. Yeah, true. I feel time is just something that we create, like as a society, like years, days, months. To me, what's most important is feeling, and how you feel about each other. So I don't particularly concerned about like timelines when it comes to matters of the heart. I think true love trumps all of that. And so if you have a feeling, and not only that, like we've been very mature and adult about planning out what we want for our future. We have, the same goals. We know what each other wants. And so we've always had a vision for what kind of life we want and what we want for us in our relationship, and then also, the grace of God will bless us with children. We've got a vision for that too. So,
Yes.
and I think everyone's different too, like depending on time. I'll give you an example. Like my mum was saying last night to Helen that my grandfather and my grandma, and they were together forever till death do them part, till they passed away. They had 6 children. One of them was my mum. They met each other just at a local dance. And obviously it was a different time back then, like the 1940s in Australia. But they got married after 3 months.
Oh, man.
And they were together forever. So I think you just know, whereas other people,
That's the word. You just know.
Yeah.
You just know.
Yeah.
I really do wish you guys all the best, but I don't want to wind up maybe before we tackle anything that you feel like maybe you've left out, done anything that you wanted to add maybe to this conversation.
Probably just a question that you asked before, Lynn,
Yes.
about people, like, do I feel like am I being used? Never once have I ever felt that at all. And I want to be really clear, like Helen and I are on the same page with everything. Like I said, we're soulmates, best friends and lovers. And as far as the building of the house, I'm just so proud that we've done that together as a team. And I think that's one of the great things about when you're in a really positive relationship, you take on certain roles, like you complement each other. So Helen was over here whilst I had to continue, my work in Australia. Yeah. So when I'm in Australia, Helen's just been doing an incredible job organising all the materials, the actual physical planning of the house and ensuring that that's going ahead as we've planned. And then I can help support in my particular way. That's obviously between us two, but I support in that way. So we complement each other. And we discussed that very early in the relationship, and I completely understood where Helen was coming from. Before we start this amazing life in Australia, and I know Helen's going to have incredible, just endless opportunities over there, and I'll be there as her number one supporter, cheering her on in everything she does. We spoke about the fact that Helen wanted to not just go to Australia, because if she did, maybe her parents and her family would see her living an amazing life, you know, doing all these things, traveling and, you know, enjoying just a great, you know, comfortable lifestyle. And yet they're still in the same predicaments and still in the same situation that, you know, caused Helen, you know, difficulties and the family difficulties in the past. That showed me a lot about this amazing lady's heart. The fact that she said, Daniel, before we go and start this venture together and live in Australia, I want to do something to try and uplift Mama and Papa and the family in the village. Yeah. And I totally understood where she was coming from, because I too was raised by parents who instilled those values of compassion, empathy, you know, try and lift up people, leave the world a better place than when you came in and arrived here. So we were in complete agreement with everything in regards to the building of the house, and we just fulfilled particular roles in the construction of that and complemented each other as a team.
Go out there, have an amazing, lovely life together. I can't wait if we ever make it to Australia, maybe pay you guys a visit, see how life is. But I love that you elevate her. I love that you support her. I love that you say there will be amazing opportunities waiting for her right there, because she's so passionate about getting a degree. I love that you are not shy of being in love.
Yeah.
And let no one make you shy of being in love. I love that you know what you want.
Thank you.
I love that you know what you want. And then don't also give up on your modeling career. You are extremely gorgeous.
Thank you.
It would be an honor to see you in the cover of those beautiful magazines, talking to people about the importance of education, creating awareness matters, gender-based violence.
Yeah.
If you don't speak, no one will.
Yeah.
So use your voice, because you had it in you. All right? And just to thank you for coming, as I said, I did not even think that, she said, they're coming tomorrow, their flight is tomorrow. Lynn, will you take me to the airport? I was like, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't, but thank you for making time, even amid jet lagged and stuff. And when you go for the dowry, you have the blessings of me and our community. And guys, you've seen a couple of photos about the Rurashio. I could not upload this before we see that moment. So also, you spoke of maybe a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys have a dream of having one, so I can pin it for you guys here on the comment section.
Yeah, definitely we're gonna create it like in the course of this week.
Good.
Yeah.
So is it gonna be Helen and Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay,
Helen
good.
and Daniel.
Yeah, just send me the link so that my people can have it pinned on the comment section. And also because I have to wait before we edit this, whichever name they send me for their YouTube channel, the name is right here on the screen. Daniel, all the very best.
Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate your hospitality, and thank you for recognizing my my forever love's amazing journey and story. She can certainly inspire.
She's amazing.
Everyone out there, so thank you.
I hope you're ready for the wazees. Wazee, the elders there. Have you even taken him through the process? Are you ready for those people?
The elders?
Yes.
Oh, certainly. I look forward to that.
If you want some tips, I can give you some tips before you go.
Okay, sure.
If they say Mtungi, it means something. So let me know if you need a couple of tips before you go there.
Thank you.
But all the very best.
Thank you.
Where can people find you on your socials? I know where to find you. But where can they find you? And what would be your parting shot to our amazing audience?
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we are going to build our Helen and Daniel YouTube channel, and we're going to be taking people, on a journey through our relationship and life. And we look forward to people joining on board and supporting us. We would love to use that to be able to, I guess, support us in different travels and different experiences that we would like to share with the audience. We're just about to start it, but we both have experience with that platform, and we do know how the YouTube platform works, And darling, did you want to mention our Instagram?
And
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Helen and
Yeah.
Daniel on TikTok. I'll do that for you.
And also on
Yes,
Instagram
on
at Helen
Instagram.
Daniel.
Beautiful photos right there on Instagram. I
Asante.
went, I'm like, oh my God, Kitenge, Munamaj. Beautiful photos on
Thank you.
Instagram.
Asante.
And may God bless your union. All we
you.
can give you from us to you is God's blessings. So may God bless your union, and may we get to meet again and probably bring people your follow-up, because I'm a believer of love. I'm a believer that we are all deserving of love, and I love what you said. Be patient. You don't gotta rush through life. Your person will come. So you and your forever love, all the best.
Thank
Mchanue, please uko kwa dawari. Sawa. Yes. And to you guys right there at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Really interested in your take home from today's conversation. And if you're giving up on love, see why you shouldn't give up. Everyone has their own person. So just be a little bit patient about it. And also, if you want to share your beautiful story with us, info ndio hiyo hapo, our email, and also to follow these beautiful people on their social media handles, including their YouTube channel. Their social media details are right here, and pinned on the comment section will be their YouTube channel. May God bless you. Have yourself an amazing day. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. My name is Lynn Ngugi.